Good morning, everyone. Welcome to my Flosstube channel. My name is Jen, the Caffeinated Crafter, and today is Saturday, May the 27th, 2023, and this is Flosstube number 40. If you're new to my channel, I would like to welcome you. This is a channel where I talk about my cross stitch, and I do all different types of projects. I lost count of how many whips I have. It's not 140, I'll tell you that much. Because I had a couple finishes. I think it's like 130 something. Anyway, so every 2 weeks, I show you what I've worked on, and then we use my little basket to pick out some more goals. I have a goal set for all of my whips, and I said that if I hit all the goals by the end of the year, that I would do 365 new starts in the year 2024. Although someone pointed out to me that next year is a leap year, so it really should be 366. But anyway, we'll see what happens. Anyway, if you're new, I already said if you're new. If you're returning to my channel, I would like to welcome you back. Thank you so much for following me and watching me along in this journey. I am now up to just over 1,000 subscribers. Holy cow, wow. There's over 1,000 of you jokers that want to watch this mess. That's wild. Thank you so much. So I did this at 500 and I'll do it again at 1,000. Just a brief reintroduction of myself. So as I said, my name is Jen. I am 40, what year is it? I haven't had a birthday yet. I'm 42. Wow. I'm 42. I live in Florida, over near Tampa, and I am divorced with 2 kids, and they are 10 and almost 13, and they are currently with their father because they are loud. If you watched one of my videos, that they were actually home when I filmed, my 12-year-old made a lot of noise and got a lot of looks and burped extremely loudly on the video. So yeah, and I have 2 cats, Mr. Whiskers and Gracie Lou Freebush. Mr. Whiskers has made a few appearances. Gracie Lou has made a couple, but not so much. She usually sleeps on my bed. What else? I am a nurse. I work for a reconstructive plastic surgeon, so we don't do really so much cosmetic stuff, but more reconstructive surgeries like skin removal after bariatric surgery, facial trauma, hand trauma, breast reconstruction for cancer patients. He has a lot of different things that he does, so there's a lot of different things we do. Skin grafting, free flaps, tissue rearrangement flaps after Mohs procedures, just all kinds of stuff. But because I'm in the medical field, I don't really talk about my job too much, because I don't know who's watching and what's watching, and I don't want to slip and accidentally say something and, you know, all that jazz. No HIPAA violations here. So anyway, I think that's about it. I've been cross-stitching since I was a kid. My mom taught me, and hi Mom. She watches my channel and contributes to the chaos with stuff she buys me and makes me. So any project bag you see on this channel was made by her. She does not sell them. She just makes them for fun and gives them to me and uses them for herself, and I try to steal hers because they're all really cute. Anyway, so yeah, I've been cross-stitching since I was a kid, on and off, you know, take a break for a few years, and, you know, I came back with a vengeance a few years ago once I discovered that there was more to cross-stitching life than just the kits that you can buy at the store. So I do a wide variety of projects, kits that you can purchase at the store. I also do a lot of full coverage pieces from right now 4 different designers. I have charts from Pain Free Crafts, Charting Creations, Cross Stitch Studio, and Heaven and Earth Designs. I also have a big fan of Stitch Roby. I have a lot of her patterns that I haven't started all of them, but I have a lot that I'm going to start next year, which I showed in a previous video. And I have, you know, stuff from Stitching Jewels, and who else do I have stuff from? Stitching Moon Designs, Stitchman Darcy, Stitch Roby, I said. I have Stony Creek patterns, like it's just all kinds of stuff. I have something for just about everybody. Yeah. I have samplers from Modern Folk Embroidery. It's just all kinds of stuff. Anyway, so at the beginning of the year, I did a whip parade, and I said, I showed all my whips, but before I started showing them, I said I was gonna set just a random goal for each one, and if I hit every goal, that I was gonna do all these new starts in the year 2024. And I say this every video, I don't think I'm gonna hit all those goals, but we're still gonna try to see if we can hit all those goals. I had like almost 100 new starts last year. I have not had any new starts this year, which is amazing considering my track run last year. But the way that I'm doing this, I don't really have a desire to start anything new right now because every 2 weeks I'm like pulling out different projects that I haven't worked on in a long time. So, yeah, and I'm pretty old school. I draw names out of a basket like you draw names out of a hat. Like I said before, I have I'll show you the front in a minute, but I have a whiteboard that I write all my stuff down. I have a trifold board that I'm gonna bust out because I did complete a few goals. So we'll bust that out so we can mark those off. And so after I show you the whips that I've worked on and the goals I've completed, I will draw the names. I will pull the whips out of my stuff. I don't edit my videos to show before and afters because it's just too much and I don't have space on my phone to do it. And so I'll show you my starting point for the stuff that I pulled out. I always pull more than I could possibly work on just to give you guys a little bit of what you're gonna do. I do have an Instagram page. I don't really post on it though, so if you want to follow me, you can, but I hardly ever post on it because I just don't think about it, honestly. I don't know. Anyway, that was a lot of talking about non-whip stuff, so let's go ahead and get to it. All right, my whiteboard. So, as you can see, I only completed 3 goals again, but I did work on a lot of projects. I worked on 13 projects total. But I have here my, the whip, the stitch count that I think I need to get to the goal, the red and blue, and then the red is how many stitches I did on it, and then the green indicates done, that the goal's done. So as you can see, I completed 3 goals. Yay! So let's go ahead and get started. And the first thing I'm going to show you is Poltergeist Pirates. This is a pattern from Glendon Place. Can I show this in the bag so I don't have to pull it out? I think I can. So this is Poltergeist Pirates, and that is what it's going to look like when it's done. I am doing this on the called for fabric, which is a 28 count Bang Casual Linen by Crosswing Collection. And I got the button pack, and it also calls for some silks, which I did not get. I think I might convert that. I don't know. It's going to be a while before I get to where the silks are. So I may or may not get those in the future. But it also calls for a glow in the dark, which I do have. And I think the glow in the dark is going to go maybe on the skeletons. I think that's what's charted. Anyway, that's what it's going to look like when it's done. My goal for this was to do 1,500 stitches. I did not complete the goal as you saw, but I did do 500. So let me just fold this up so it's not sitting right in front of my face. So like I said, I want to do 1,500 stitches on this. This is where I'm at so far. So what I did was I came down here and I finished this, what's it called, a mast. And this is, hang on, over here is where I worked. So finished this mask. I started bringing the railing out here, and I did a little bit of the sail. Wow. I did a little bit of the sail, and I did do some back stitching here. I'm trying to back stitch as I go when I can, like when all the stitches in that area are done. I throw in some back stitching so it's not all saved for the end. And funny story, so I play games on Facebook. I play a few different games on Facebook to encourage my stitching. And one of the games that I tried to post a start of this in, Facebook told me that it may violate community standards for being like too racy or something. I'm like, are you kidding me? What in the world? So anyway, I did 500 stitches on this. I said 1,500, so I have 1,000 stitches to go before this goal is done. So that will go, that is already, I've already moved all my stuff around, like regarding my things. So that's already back in the basket, just in case. Okay. And if you're wearing earbuds, I have my project zipped. I will be unzipping them and re-zipping them, because if I leave them all unzipped, stuff is going to fall out. I'm going to lose it, and that is no bueno. So I try to not be too loud. I actually find that it doesn't, I wear hearing aids, and my phone is Bluetooth to my hearing aids, because I have fancy ones. And so whenever someone does the zippers and stuff, I hear it and it doesn't bother me. So I kind of feel like it's like that for a lot of other people, except for ones who have their stuff turned up super loud, which you shouldn't have that anyway, because it'll mess up your hearing. So anywho, all that to say, I'm just pre-warning you about zippers. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to show you is Hiding Place. This is from the Cross Stitch Studio. It is, artwork is by Abraham Hunter. It's 869 by 583. That is what it's going to look like when it's done. My goal for this was to get it to 2%. Isn't that pretty? It's so peaceful. I love it. My goal for this was to get it to 2%. And I'm doing this, I completed the goal. So I am at 2% exactly. And I am doing this on 28 count, easy count Lugana, 2/1 tent stitch. That is where I'm at with it so far. I started in the upper left-hand corner. I have done a grand total of 10,135 stitches out of 506,627. So, and the fabric is a little discolored because I spilled some raspberry tea on it a while ago. But I'm not washing it out because I don't want to wash out the grid. Tell you what, man, these pre-gridded fabrics, I hate gridding itself, but I like the benefit of gridding. So this easy count fabric is a lifesaver with full coverages. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, so that goal is done, and that will be going into my done pile. The next thing I'm going to show you is from Stitching Jewels, and this is Gothic House. And this is, I think it's 350 by 350. It's a monochrome piece. I'm going to try to be good today and actually link websites and Etsy shops down below. I say that every video, and I hardly ever do. I'm going to try to be good today though and actually do that. So if I can remember, I will link her Etsy shop, her website, and her YouTube channel down below. She has a YouTube. She posts like at least every week. But that's what it's going to look like when it's done. She has a lot of monochrome pieces, a lot of non-monochrome pieces. I really like her stuff a lot. A lot. I have 3 active projects by her, and I have 2 more that I plan to start next year that I have not shown on my to be started videos yet. I've not shown those, so you have not seen the ones that I bought. Anyway, so I'm doing this on a, what is this? I feel like this might be like maybe a 25 or 28 count vintage stormy night. It's not 32 because I can see these holes pretty good. Maybe it's 32. I don't know. It's a vintage stormy night. Whoever does that, what is that picture? This, no, not. It's a printed fabric, so it's got that smoky appearance on one side, but it's just plain gray on the other. That is fuzz. I was like, what are those black lines on the back? It's fuzz. Okay, so anyway, my goal for this is to get it to 10%. And I did, so I was estimating that I was going to need about a little over 1,600 stitches. I did 600 stitches on this, and I am currently at 6.44%. That is where I'm at with it so far. So when I started working on this, I put my Q-snap up so I could get to try to work towards getting to the top. So I did all this right here. And I'm doing this 1/1 with black with 310. I have my cone of doom of 310. So I have about maybe another 1,000 stitches on this, and then this goal will be done. So there's that one. I like that one a lot. These monochrome, hush. My tablet's trying to talk to me. I think she thought I said her name. Alexa. The monochrome patterns are really easy to follow, and they're Pattern Keeper compatible. This next piece I'm going to show you is in a bag made by my mom, and this is Apple Pie Harvest from Charting Creations. Artwork is by Janet Kreskamp. Where is it? Here it is. Right, Janet Kreskamp? Yeah, Charting Creations, artwork by Janet Kreskamp. This is what it's going to look like when it's done. It's very cozy. I like it a lot. It kind of drew me to it because it reminded me of like an old-timey grandma's house. You know what I mean? Like that you would see back in like the 50s or something. And my goal for this is to complete page 1. I'm not really sure how many stitches that's going to be, so I don't really have a stitch count of what I need. I had an estimate of, let me see if I have a good estimate of how many it was going to be. A very rough estimate of about 4,000, but I'm not entirely sure. Could be less. I may have miscounted the page, I'm not sure. Anyway, this is where I'm at with it so far. So this is the edge of page 1 right here, and the bottom of it is right here. So I don't really have a whole lot, so I think that 4,000 is a little extreme because I did, wait, hold on. No, the bottom of the page is right there. So I got it, so maybe 4,000. I think the 4,000 might be a little extreme because I don't think that's gonna be, I've done 1,800 total. I did 1,300 when I worked on this, and then 500 the last time I worked on it. So yeah, not sure if that 4K is really that accurate, but anyway, my goal is to finish page 1. So what I started doing the last time I pulled this out was I started color completing in that page. So I would just pick a color and then I would just do all that color in that page. But we're getting closer to it. So page 1 to be done on that one, and then that goal will be done. This is Memorial Day weekend, so I am off on Monday. Thank God. Oh my God, I'm so exhausted. We've been so busy at work. I work Monday through Friday. I know I said earlier I don't talk about work, and now here I am talking about work. I work Monday through Friday and in my plastic surgeon's office in the hospital. And so I'm scheduled 40 hours, and by 10:30, I think, on Friday, I went into overtime by 10:30 a.m. and I did not leave work on Friday until 7:30. Overtime. I mean, that's all I could do. I'm like, okay, I'm getting paid time and a half right now. Okay, let's keep going. Okay, so more money to buy more stuff for my cross stitching, right? All right, so anywho, the next thing I'm going to show you is compass. I don't know if that's what it's called, but that's what I'm calling it. This is from Maya Stitch on Etsy. That's what it's going to look like when it's done. And it says, I always say this wrong too. I always say the wrong word at the end. I will be the ocean and you will be the sea. Nope, stars. I will be the ocean, you will be the stars is what the text says right here. And my goal for this is to get it to 1,000 stitches, or do 1,000 stitches on it, right? Yeah. And I'm just doing this on a little piece of that DMC Charles Craft fabric you can pick up at like Joann's or Michael's or something. I do have a thread hanging because I was done for the night, but I wasn't done with the thread. But this is like one of those green, blue, hand-dyed, it's printed, but green, blue, yellowish fabrics I thought would be really good for this. And I did 400 stitches on it. There's no back stitching. There is back stitching, but I have not done the back stitching so far. All right, let me do this so my arm fat's not hanging. There we go. I did 400 stitches on this, so I have about 600 left to go. And then this piece will be done. So it's a paper pattern, so I just have this page, the top left page right now. I started in the middle, and I just started working my way out. So 600 stitches left to go on this one, and this goal will be done. I have a different plan for next year for how I'm going to do this, because there's some goals I completed in January and I won't touch them again for a year, and I don't like that idea. I want to be able to have the option to keep working on them. So I think what I'm going to do for next year, I have more stuff to show. Maybe I should do that first. I get so sidetracked. Let's do that, and then we'll talk about, I'll probably change it, but we'll talk about what I may do for next year regarding how I'm going to pick stuff. And then I'll pull my stuff out. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to show you is for a little kit from Artiste called Merry Christmas. That's what it's going to look like when it's done. And I said my goal for this was to complete the letter C and the letter H, because I started in the middle and that ended up to be this H right here. So my goal is to complete C and H 100%, like back stitching and everything on those two letters. I did a total of 500 stitches on it, and have my thread hanging again, so let's just slide that out of the way. So when I showed this to you last, there was hardly any, the cross stitching and the H was done, and there was hardly anything that, like some of the outline of the C here, which was a gingerbread cookie. So since you last saw it, I actually had to frog this out. This dark red here used to be green. And then I'll talk about this in a second, but I realized that was the wrong color, so I had to switch it out. But I completed all the cross stitching for the C, so the little Santa and everything, all the cross stitching is done. And so I started back stitching on the H over here. So next time I pull this out, I'll keep working that thread, and I just got to work on the back stitching, and then this will be done. Oh, there's French knots too in the C. But what I noticed with this kit, if you end up picking this up, on the back of this, it has your key. And so when I worked on this before, I was looking for the symbol, and I saw this here. This symbol here was in that Christmas ornament hanging off of the H. Very dark emerald green, right? So I did some stitches in that. And then when I started continuing to work on it this last time, I was looking for Hang on. All right, I'm gonna show you this part right here. I was looking for this symbol right here to go with the Christmas tree, okay? And I'm like, why can't I find that? And I'm looking at the symbol legend and it's not there at all. And I'm like, what in the world? And then I noticed, so then I kind of figured out, okay, well, this green here that I was missing is that right there, because it was like dark green, medium green, light green for that tree. And I'm like, well, this has to be the green. And then I realized that they accidentally printed that symbol twice for the red and the green. And that's when I realized that I stitched the wrong color on that little ornament. So I just have to, I will have to refer to the picture when I see that symbol just to make sure that it's, if it's supposed to be red or green when it comes to that symbol. The other one, I kind of realize now what that is. So anyway, that's where I'm at with that. So I got to finish the back stitching on the H and the C and the Santa and stuff and do the French knots, and then that goal will be done. Okay, and I'm just using whatever came in the kit. So kit floss, kit fabric. It's like a 14 count white Aida that's being done on. Okay, next, it's another goal completed. This cute little bag my mom made. Isn't that adorbs? So this next one here is, let me get this floss out of the way, is Halloween Feather Tree from Little Robin Designs. And my goal for this was to complete, I already had kind of this frame right here, some of the stuff done here, and I had that pumpkin done, but my goal was to complete basically shelf 2 and shelf 3, or branch 2 and 3, whatever you want to call those. The second and third ones. I already had the cat and the witch done here, and I had like most of the frame part done, so I just wanted to finish that section out. And I did it. This was how many stitches was it? I did that 330. I'm doing this on, this might be 32, I don't know. I'm gonna say 32, but I could be wrong on the count, but it's the Vintage Stormy Night. I really gotta remember who did this because I have a few pieces with this fabric. So that's all done. There's no back stitching on it, so I'm good to go on that. But I did those 2 motifs, these 3, and then I finished the little feathers on there. And I'm doing this in the called for floss. It's a bunch of fancy flosses. The only thing that's not fancy is the white and the black. I am doing B5200, I think it is. Or is it 3865? She gives you a conversion. Hang on. I'm doing 310 for the black, and then 3865 because the white is Weeks Dye Works Grits, and right now I do not want to do fancy white and fancy black, so I'm just doing those. 3865 for the white and 310 for the black. So that one's done. I like to try to complete at minimum 1 goal every 2 weeks so we can mark it off on my ginormous board with my ginormous marker. Okay. Or else why am I bringing that board out, you know? All right. And if you have no idea what I'm talking about, you'll see in a few minutes. Okay, the next thing I'm going to show you. So I said I had 13 projects I worked on. Yay! Next thing I'm going to show you is another full coverage from Cross Stitch Studio, and this is Christmas Shops. Artwork is by Betsy Brown, and this is 900 by 700. That's what it's going to look like when it's done. I like this one because it's a lot different than a lot of the other Christmas pieces you see. It's kind of more of like a sepia thing, like a lot of browns and stuff, and usually Christmas is like very bright and colorful. or blue and silver, and this is more like brown, like an old-timey shop. So anyway, it's not much to show per se, like nothing super great regarding the design itself, but because I started in the upper left-hand corner, which is like no detail. But my goal for this was to get it to 0.5%, and that I was estimating that to be 2650, like 2,650, and I've done 600 since the last time you saw this. So I started in the upper left-hand corner. I'm doing this on a 32 count, easy count Lugano, 1/1 full cross. And so I have a total right now of 1,100 stitches out of 630,000 stitches, and I'm at 0.17%. What did I say I wanted to get it to? 0.5. So I have a ways to go. I'm hoping my stitching will increase. I know the last Flosstube I did, I was like, man, I had a really rough 2 weeks and stuff, but my social calendar is going back to what it was before, which is I sit at home just about every weekend, which is what I prefer, honestly. And it's summertime, so my kids will likely be over at their dad's a lot more this summer because he is back in the area. He had to move out of the immediate vicinity for a little while, but he's back. Perfect timing. They're going to be over there all week for the first time in many, many months. So I don't have to cook every night. I'm good with just eating a sandwich or something, but they are like, what's for dinner? What are you cooking? And I don't have to do that every single night this week, which means I get more stitching time. Yay! All right, so I'm hoping that I will start to get a lot more stitches in because I was only averaging about 400 to 500 a night, and I used to be able to do a lot more. All right. The next thing I'm going to show you is a kit that I bought from a Russian designer a while ago. I'm calling it Christmas Reindeer. That's what it's going to look like when it's done. Isn't that just gorgeous? I'm using whatever came in the kit, so I think it's a 16 count white Aida, and the floss is kind of like one of those blends that's like, it's not silk, but it's not 100% cotton either. It's like that blendy stuff. And my goal for this is to do 1,000 stitches on it. And I did 500, I think. Where is it? 500. So I started in the middle, and this is the antler that's over here. Nope, I lied. I'm a liar. The antler over here. So I originally started in the middle. So I did 500 stitches going kind of up this way. And I left the thread in, of course, because I was done for the night, but not done with the thread. And yeah, so another 500 stitches, and the goal for this will be complete. I like how it's coming out so far. It's, yeah, it's nice. I like it. One thing I will say that I hate about kits is that all kits I have discovered give you like a 1-inch margin around your fabric. So it's like when you think that I had to count to make sure, hang on, let me show you this real quick. When I started stitching this, I started getting nervous because I'm like, holy cow, that's getting really close to the edge and I feel like I have more to do. So I counted, and I have space. I have like 1 inch, which is what all the stupid kits give you. They give you a 1-inch margin. I don't know why they would give 2 inches, if anything. But anyway, I counted there. I did start it oriented correctly. This was like, oh my God, did I mess this up again? Like, come on, not this piece, but I've done that before and this sucks. Okay, the next thing I'm going to show you is from Heaven and Earth Designs. And this is Artist Kitchen. I don't know how to say the guy's name, so I'm gonna bumble it completely, but Jacek Yurka. I don't know how to say it. There's his name. He has some really cool pieces. I like them a lot, but this is the only one I have by him so far. This was gifted to me by my friend Libeth. Yeah, so this is regular size max color, and I'm doing this on a 20 count 2/1 full cross. And my goal for this is to get it to 1%. And I flubbed. Oh, so real quick, before I show you where I was at, I wanted to show you this little corner here. So what I did, I couldn't decide what I wanted to do with regarding the, regarding if I wanted to do 1/1 full cross, 2/1 tent, 2/2 full cross. So so these little things here, I did like a 10 stitch, 5 to 10 stitch block of each type. I did 2/1 full, 1/1 full, and 2/1 tent, and I decided that I was okay with the 2/1 full cross. This 20 count is probably the highest count I will go doing 2/1 full cross. Anything higher than that, and I need to do tent stitch, or I need to drop down to 1 thread. Oh my God, this is so much fabric. Where's my stitching? So I made a boo-boo on this because this is not gridded. This is just a plain white Aida, and I hate gridding, so I didn't do it. And then I realized the error of my ways. I'm still not gridding, but I just changed the way that I'm stitching on it. So if you didn't see this last time, this all has to be frogged out right here because I started this in the wrong place, so I got to pull all that out. So, but I'm kind of cheating with this because if I pull this out, it's going to drop my percentage down, but I want to get through these goals, so I'm leaving it. We'll frog later. And so what I did was I started parking, and I'm just doing block by block, and then I'm just kind of parking wherever in the block that the thread ends, and there's another of that color in the next block over. So I'm parking all over the place right now. So that's where I'm at with it so far. I did 300 more stitches on it, and I am at 0.8%. So I think I need another, I was estimating that I needed about 600, where is it? Where'd it go? I need about 675 stitches to get to 1%, and I did 300. So one more night of stitching on this, and this will be done. So that's where I'm at with that so far. I started in the middle because it's not gridded, and you know, even though I normally, I don't know. I started in the middle with this one. I don't know why I did that. It doesn't matter. It's just, it's a center start. Okay. A few more pieces. This next piece is another goal that is complete. This is Autumn in the Village from Stony Creek Collection. That's what it's going to look like when it's done. I do have all 4 of these pieces started, and I believe Autumn is the only one that I now have a goal complete on. And my goal for this was to do 1,000 stitches on it, right? Autumn in the Village, 1,000 stitches on it. And I'm doing this on, I don't know who dyed it. It's a 28 count chai tea. I had to think of the color. And I said I was going to do 1,000 on, I originally said I was going to do like 1,000 over here in this building and then over here, but I just worked on this building right here. So let me show you where I'm at. So I did 1,000 stitches focusing on this building, so I got a good amount of that done. This is the whole piece of fabric here. There we go. So I did 1,000 more stitches on the house. Now I will say this window right here is 1 stitch too high, the whole window, so I'm just making it work. I'm not going to take all that out. I'm just making it work. So yeah, and I also, no, I was going to say I started back stitching, but I didn't. No, I just did 1,000 cross stitches. So this goal is done. This is going bye-bye until next year. Say bye-bye. Bye-bye. Autumn in the Village. All right. Two more pieces. So what I decided to do after the video last couple weeks ago was I was like, I have 7 year-long stitching goals. Right? Yeah. I have 7 year-long stitching goals, and I kept avoiding them, and I kept working on the pieces I was pulling out. And I'm like, you know, I really need to work on whittling away at these larger projects. So I decided that I was going to work on at least 2 minimum after every video. I was going to just, you know, have some stitching on some of these projects to try to work away at them. So the last 2 are 2 of those year-long projects. So the first one I'm going to show you from that is California Dreaming from Heaven and Earth Designs. Artwork is by Jeff Haney. This is regular size, max color. So it's like 700 by 501 and has 240 colors in it. And I am doing this on a 25 count easy count Lugana 2/1 tent stitch. My goal for this is to get it to 25% by the end of the year. I'm behind because I had figured out what percentage I had to get it to stay on track. I am behind, but that's okay. Because I came to the realization that, you know, it's like the goals are going to get done or they're not going to get done. It's whatever. It's whatever. I'm not stressing it. Since the last time you saw it, I did another 800 stitches, and I'm still focused down right now, down in the bottom left-hand corner, but I did 800 stitches. So I did a lot more of this. So like this part is mostly like all filled in, and I started working the park threads back in. I started parking, and then when I pulled this back out, I remembered I'm not a huge fan of parking when I'm doing tent stitch because I'm just not. Because usually when you park, you have like a, what's it called? Like a border, a set thing that you're working in. And I feel like when you're doing tent stitch, that it ends up kind of, you start seeing, you can see it with full crosses too, based on your tension, but I find it more so when there's tent stitch involved because it's, I don't know, I guess it's just because you're going over one leg, so it's just kind of pulling constantly. So I started working these park threads back in. And I think when I pull this out again, when I may keep working in this section, or I may move back up again. I'm not really sure. But so I did 800 stitches on it since the last time you saw it. I have done a total of, because there's more up here. There's more stitching up here. But I've done a total of 51,328 stitches out of 350,700, and I am at 14.64%. So there we go. If I mathed correctly, which that may, you know, so this may or may not be correct. If I mathed correctly, as of the last video, I needed 37,190 stitches to get to the 25%, and I've done 800. So what, 36,000, I don't know. I don't know. Whatever 37,190 minus 800 is. That's how many I have left to get it to 25%. Oh, my brain is too tired to math. Okay, so this last piece I'm going to show you is from Stitch Area on Etsy. This pattern is no longer available, but it's called Best Friends Quotes, and it's a bunch of quotes from the TV show Friends that aired way back in the day. This is a show that I basically lived on when I was younger. I absolutely love it. It's one of my favorites of all time. There are some jokes that they say that I kind of like now, but it was for that time period, it was a very funny show. I enjoyed it a lot. So anyway, whole bunch of quotes. I'm not going to read them all. My goal for this, for the year, is to do 12,000 stitches on it. Since the last time you saw this, I have done 700, and before I pull this up, I'm going to say, I'm just doing this on some small little roll of Aida that at the time I was like, oh, this will fit and it'll be fine. And I will have about a 1-inch margin on all sides. So don't freak out when you see how close this is to the top. This is, still has to go up and over for the S, but I've done 700 stitches on it since the last time you saw it. I'm stitching this in hand, so I can I started being able to jump around a little bit, so I would like pick a color and then I would just start working, and then if I got tired of that color, I moved on to another one. But I've done 700 since the last time you saw it. So this is the S in the word friends. And what else did I work on? I think I did the words I wanna, quit was already done. Quit was already done. So I did I wanna and the gym. And God, I don't even remember what I worked on now, because I worked on this right after the thing. I believe I did this right here. Stupid guy on my phone. That was from Joey. And see, he's her lobster. I got the words in there. And didn't I work on something that was brown? I think I was going to, and I ended up finishing for the night. But anyway, so I've done 700 on this so far, or since the last time you saw it. I had 7,400 left to go. So I have 7,400 minus 700. Why can't I math? I can add, no problem, but I can't subtract. 6,700 left. Wow. I think it's 6,700 left. Wow. I have to bust out my calculator to do simple subtraction. So yeah, so there's that. So I'm not sure what to, I'll go ahead. It's been a while since I showed all of the year-long projects, so I will probably go ahead and pull those out at the end. After I pull all my goals out, just so give you a little bit of a refresher, because a few of these you haven't seen in a while. Okay, so those are all the whips I have to show. Yeah. I feel like this is going to be a long video because I'm at 48 minutes already. Okay. I don't have a cat on my couch today. He's oversleeping on his little cat tower. So this might be a little bit easier. Okay, let me move my little back support here. Oh, so here is my, here's my board with all my goals. Yeah. So what we'll do now is I will get my handy dandy marker, my Blue's Clues marker. It's huge. And we are going to mark off the goals that I have completed and add them to the tally I have going up here that you can't see right now because it's way back there. And yeah, but it's a lot of fun. I quite enjoy this because we get to, you know, see how many I've done and how many I have left to go. You can't even, this darn board is so big. You know, I thought about doing one of these boards next year for all of the ones that, because there's some of these that I finished, a few of them that like they're actual finishes. And so they'll come off of this list. And then I thought about doing these boards for like all my new starts and stuff next year, but maybe have it divided up into the categories so it's a little easier, because I'm gonna have to have more than one of these boards. I don't know, because I kind of enjoy this, but then I have to think about it because of how I'm gonna do it next year. Anyway, we'll figure that out at a later date. Okay, so the 3 goals that I have completed are Autumn in the Village, which is over here. Right here, can you see that? Yeah. Autumn in the Village. And Halloween Feather Tree, which is down here. Can you see? Where is it? There it is. Can you see that? Yeah. And Hiding Place, which is way down here. I'm trying to like balance this on my shoulder and hold it up. Hiding Place, which is down here. Let's do that one more time because it didn't. Okay, we're really marking that one out. Okay. What did I do last time? I did this. Let's close this one real quick, and we're going to bring this down a little bit here. And I did 3, so we're going to do 1, 2, 3. So we are up to 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. We are up to 40 goals completed out of 139, not 140. For anyone who is wondering why I keep saying that, at the start of the year, I'm like, I have 140 projects. And I really did think I had 140 projects. And then when I got this board, and this whole year, I've been saying I have 140 projects. And I got this board like maybe a month or 2 ago, and I started writing them out, and I got to 140, and I'm like, wait a minute. Wait, where's number 140? And I was thinking, well, maybe I missed one on my Excel list that I have on my computer. And so I started looking at it, and I realized that line 1 was like my table, like, you know, whip designer, because I have it like whip designer. How do I have it? Turn back on, computer. I gotta put my pen in again. So I have whip designer, starting point, end of year goal, and when it was met. So I have line 1 is that. So I was thinking in my head, like when I was putting my stuff in, I was like, okay, so because line 1 is the table listings, I need to have 141 listed if I want 140 goals. Like the line would be 141. So that's what I did. And then when I did this board and I only had 139, I was like, what in the world? And I started looking, and I realized that line 2 is a blank space because I like everything spaced out. Line 2 is a blank space, so it should have been 142 listed. So yeah, I have 139. So I've done 40 out of 139, which means I have 99 left. Okay. I need my back support. I'm getting too old to be sitting up on the couch without any support on my back. All right, so we're gonna do the next segment. On to the next segment. I'm going to pull out my projects that I'm going to try to work on. Hang on. I know, I'm off camera. Oh. All right. There we go. All right. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to pull out 15 goals and find them in my bins, or find them in my little bag I have here if there's something that I had pulled that I didn't work on or whatever. And so I'll show you my starting point for the ones that I pull. I mean, I'll probably go ahead and show you where I'm at with my year-long projects, because it's been a while since I pulled them out, and I'm going to work on at least 2 of them in the next 2 weeks. So real quick, what I wanted to say earlier, I got distracted and then I almost forgot to do it. So what I was thinking about doing for next year is, I know I had said I was going to do, like, I think previously I said I was going to do 1,000 on full coverages and 500 on my regular ones. But I'm kind of wondering, because I'm going to have so much stuff going on, I'm kind of thinking I will do 500 across the board, because even when it's crazy busy at my house, I can get, sometimes I have to push for it, but I can usually get 500 stitches. Because what I'd like to be able to do, I can get 500 stitches in a night. Because what I'd like to be able to do is, once I do one, okay. So what I said, because I will have so many projects and I want to be able to work on them more than once, and, or, you know, throughout the year, is, but I don't want to keep pulling the same thing over and over again. So what I was saying I was going to do next year, and I'm still playing with this, but if I say it out loud, it'll kind of give me options when I think about it later in the year, is once I pull a project, I think I'm going to say 5 times, because that'll be a total of 2,500 stitches on that project. Then that one will go away until other stuff starts getting pulled out more. And then later on in the year, depending on how well that goes, I could throw it back in the mix. But I was going to do 1,000 on the full coverages, but then I was like, well, if I don't work on it, if I only do 500 a day average, and I say 1,000 and I don't go back and work on it a second time, it's going to throw everything all off, and then I'm going to start confusing myself. So I think I might do 500 across the board, and then I'll have another category of, I was debating if I was going to have a category of new starts, or if I was going to have them in their categories, like, because I have some full coverages I'm going to start next year, and if I just throw them in there, then yeah, I'm still playing with the new start thing. But I think I'm going to do 500 across the board, and then once I do it 5 times, then I'll set it aside and not work on it again until I get through this other stuff. So maybe I can use my big board and Blue's Clues marker for that. I don't know. Anyway, so let's get going here. All right, so the first thing I pulled out is Flower Gnome. And that is from Maya Stitch. And I believe that is over here. EF. Apparently I don't know my alphabet because it was mixed in with the C's. So Flower Gnome from Maya Stitch. My goal for this, I think I said to finish it. Yeah. So this is supposed to be one of my finishes for the year. And I got to hold it back here because I don't have a mock-up of it printed. So I'm going to hold it back here. And I have done a total so far of 1,400 stitches. This is just on one of those rolls of the pink opalescent Charles Craft Ada. I think DMC makes it. But it's opalescent, so it's nice and pretty. And this is a total of 1,400 stitches so far. And so I still got a little ways to go on it. And I still have to back stitch. So there's one project. That's supposed to be a finish. Okay, and then the next one is, oh, Summer in the Village. I just showed you Autumn in the Village, so this is Summer in the Village. And there it is. This is from Stony Creek Collection. This is what it's going to look like when it's done. And I'm doing this on a 28 count African Daisy over 2 over 2. And this is my starting point for it. Isn't that nice? I don't know who dyed the fabric. I think it might be Witch Elf. No, they don't dye. Picture This Plus? I don't know. It's African Daisy. I got it on 123 Stitch. So if you go on there and you search African Daisy 28 count fabric, it will pop up. That's my starting point. And my goal for this is, oh, you know what? Let me do this. Oh no. My goal for this is Summer in the Village. Finish the cross stitching of the far left building. So this building right here, I need to finish the cross stitching on it. There. So I got to finish the cross stitching, not the back stitching, the cross stitching of this building right here. That shouldn't be too bad. Okay. Next. Not gonna lie, this is like my favorite part of the video. I love doing this. All right. Be Still. This is from the Cross Stitch Studio. Artwork is by Abraham Hunter. It's $9.79 by $7.37. This was the first huge ass full coverage piece that I bought. And it's just absolutely gorgeous. I love it to death. I keep hesitating because I feel like I'm going to make this a UFO to be restarted. Not because, like, I feel like I'm going to make it a UFO, not because it has anything to do with the designer or the pattern, but because of my fabric choice and what I decided to do to stitch on it. So I started this. I'm going to show you my starting point. I'm still thinking about this, but I have a very strong feeling I'm going to make it a UFO. I'm doing this on a 22 count hard anger, 2 over 1 full cross. And I'm not really liking it. It's too thick. And I don't like the way my stitches look. And I'm just not really digging it. But I like the pattern, so it's not like I'm gonna not do it. But I think I'm gonna make this a UFO. I may save the rest of this fabric for something else, but I don't like it. Like, I don't like stitching on this because of that. where was I at with it? I was not even 2% done with it. So it's not like I put like years and years of work into this. I mean, I've been working on it for years, but like little bits at a time. So I'm not far enough along that I'm like, okay, I just need to see it through and be done with it. I think I'm gonna make this a UFO. But I'm not gonna mark it off on the board until next time. So I'm still gonna pull it out. But yeah, I'm going to get a different fabric. Probably my trusty 28 or 32 count easy count Lugana, and restart it next year doing 1/1 full cross. When I did this, I always did 2 threads, always. And that's why I did that. But that was also a few years ago before I just started discovering all the different other ways to stitch. So don't be sad. I know some of you are like, oh no, don't be sad. Don't feel bad. I was thinking about that last time, and that's why it's been so long since I worked on it. I've been thinking about not liking my fabric choice for quite a long time now. And it wasn't until this year that I felt okay with saying, no, I don't like this. I'm going to do something. I'm going to do it, but on something else. This year was the year that I'm like, oh, it's okay to have a UFO and not finish something because you don't like it, not because you put it aside and start something else. Okay. Ooh. So the next piece is Halloween Quaker. And that is from Lila's Studio. There it is. That's what it's going to look like when it's done. A lot of people are doing this. I'm doing this on that 32 count Vintage Stormy Night. 2/2. Yeah, 32 count, 2/2. This is my starting point. And let me see, where is it? Halloween Quaker. Halloween Quaker. 1,000 stitches on broom, moon, and bats. So finish my broom, get the moon done, and there's little bats above her head. So get the broom completed, do the moon and the bats. Now, if there's stitches left over, I will likely come up here and start working on this motif up here. And I am doing pretty much mostly the called fors because I have some fancy flosses in here. So I'm doing mostly the fancy flosses, and I feel like there's more than what I have right there. It's like all piled up. So, but I believe the black, I'm doing 310, and the white, I think I'm doing 3865. Because again, no fancy white or black here. But yeah. So there's that. 1,000 stitches for that one. All right. Okay. Next thing I'm going to pull out is, yes, finally. I've been thinking about this piece forever. And I'm like, when am I going to pull this out again? Honeymoon Sunset. Oh, I love this piece. This is another Cross Stitch Studio piece. And artwork's by Abraham Hunter. If you haven't been paying attention, I have a lot of his, they do a lot of his work, and I have a lot of his patterns. I love his artwork. That's what it's gonna look like when it's done. Flippin' love it. Absolutely adore this. Love it. And my goal for this is to get it to 30%. So I started the year at 28%. This is the furthest along with, like, how am I trying to say it? This is my full coverage that has the most progress on it. Does that make sense? My highest progress full coverage. I'm doing this 2/110 stitch on a 25 count easy count Lugana. And I don't know where I'm going to start. Actually, you know what? I'll probably work on getting these threads worked in because I have a lot of part threads on this one side here. I'm going to show you the whole thing of where I'm at so far. I started the year at 28%. Where is it? Honeymoon Sunset. I'm looking at my computer. And the last time you saw it, I had done 2,000 more stitches. And I was estimating I needed to get 11,285 to get it to 30%. So I started the year at 28%. I'm currently at 28.18%. I gotta go back because I started working in the top left corner, and then I got paranoid I didn't have enough fabric, so I started working my way across. I got to string. I got to the other corner. Look at that sky. I got to the other corner and I started working my way down. Look at that little palm tree. I hate palm trees. And this one I randomly decided to work on one page right there. And I worked all the way down to the bottom. And on this side over here, I started working my way down. And I got all the way to the bottom here. And then I randomly decided to work on some color blocking-ish type stuff. So this is some of the sky here. And then I decided I wanted to park. This is such a chaotic mess. But yeah, so I think I will go ahead and when I work on this, I might work on it today. I think I will start working these parked threads in. Or what I did the last time I started working on this was when I pulled it up in Pattern Keeper, I looked to see what ninja stitches were still up here, and I just started working them in and like finishing the thread. And then as I got down here, I started, because I was doing like, I was almost doing like a reverse royal rose where instead of going across, I went down the side, but then I started getting lines, which is what I was saying about the tent stitch. But when you stretch it out, it should, like, for the most part, when you stretch it out, it should kind of, you see how you see the lines right here? But then when you stretch it out, it kind of there, but I think some of that's grid lines too. I don't know, we'll see. It's okay. But yeah, so I think I'm gonna work up in this corner up here and work on getting these ninja stitches filled in and then working in these parked threads. But yeah, my goal for this is to get it to 30%. That's the whole thing overall. I can't even show you the whole thing. Look at that. Oh, I'm excited I pulled this out again. Yay. I love this piece so much. It's a much different reaction than the last one I pulled out, huh? Last full coverage. Okay. Or, you know, maybe I won't even do that corner. Maybe I'll go over to another corner and work on that. Who knows? It's a mystery. I have 4 options regarding corners that I can pick from. All right. I can't even get this back in the bag. I just balled it up and put it in there. All right. Back to my normal seating. You tell I'm very excited about that piece. I'm probably going to work on that. Maybe I'll work on that on Monday. I don't know, because I'll have like all day. Okay, the next piece I'm going to pull out is Santa. And this was a kit that I got from my mom. She made this bag for me as well. Hang on, let me put this back in here. It's probably not the right spot, but that's okay. That's the back of the bag. This is the front of the bag. She did the cross stitching. This is not my work. This is all my mother. Look at that. With a variegated. She did such a good job. And then she made the bag. So anyway, this is from Luca S. That's what it's gonna look like when it's done. I have no idea what my goal is on this. Let me find it. Santa. Oh, I just need to do 500 stitches. Easy peasy. I think, I'm sitting here pulling out the pattern. I need to pull out the actual piece. I think this is why I kind of kept not working on my other stuff, because I would get a bunch of things like this that I'm like, oh, I can get that done in a day. I started in the middle. Oh, crap. I have to look and see where I'm at with it, because this is what it looks like. I gotta do 500 stitches, so I gotta figure out where I'm at with it. I feel like it goes, I guess I do gotta pull this pattern out. I wanna try to show you the right way. So I started in the middle. Where's my middle? I don't know. I'll figure it out. I think maybe it goes this way. I have no clue. Anyway, this is my starting point. It could go any direction. I have no clue which way it goes. I will figure it out when I go to pull this out. And because I know I did a center start, so I just got to figure out where that center is on this pattern, because I think I started on this page. No, I didn't. I don't know. I will figure out my starting point, and yeah. 500 stitches on that. So I have a lot of kits I'm going to start next year, and I feel like what I may try to do when I start them is find the center and then count out to the top left corner and start in the corner, so that I don't confuse myself too much like I keep doing with these center starts, and I'm like, what's happening? Okay. All right. Next is A Wonderful Time of the Year. Here we go, Wonderful Time of the Year. And this is by Ursula Michael. And this is what it's going to look like when it's done. So it says, holly jolly, home for the holidays, deck the halls. It's the most wonderful time of the year. Go caroling, fa la la, eat, drink, and be merry. Be of good cheer, comfort, joy. So my goal for this is to finish time of the year phrase. I'm doing this on 28 count white opalescent Lugana 2/2. So I need to finish the word year, and I need to finish the word time, and I have it like this because I have my Q snap and I didn't want to move it. And so I did everything I could. So that's why I started. So I was like, well, I'll do this green and work my way over. And then I decided to start working on the T, and then I stopped for the night. So finish time of the year phrase. I think what I said was I wanted to finish the words time of the year. Although that says phrase. I may have to go back and look and see what I said I was going to do. But yeah, I think we're calling it time of the year. Like this was going to be something separate. I may go back and try to hunt down that one spot where I talked about this piece to see what because I pointed out what I was going to work on. So there's that one. Next is Quick Stitch Red Panda. And this is from Heaven and Earth Designs. This was gifted to me by a friend, Naomi. Where is it? Quick Stitch Red Panda. Artworks by Meredith Dillman. Right, is this one? Yeah. That's what it's gonna look like when it's done. This is not something I would normally do, but it's really cute. So I'm happy with it. And here it is. So Naomi had started this and she decided, I went and got everything, but she decided she did not want to do this anymore. And my goal for this is, so I adopted this piece from her. My goal is to get it to 4%. Oh, I can do that easy because it's currently at 3.28%. She started this 1/1 full cross, and this is the upper right hand corner. So this is my starting point. And so I want to get this to 2%, and it is, like I said, currently at 3.28%. So, and it's only a total of 42,000 stitches, so that should go really quick. All right. Next. May Gnome. May Gnome. This is from a series from Cross Stitch for Everyone. And this is one of the things that's kind of buying me some new starts next year because I'm going to end up finishing these all separate. But this is from her Year of Gnome Stitch Along she had a few years ago. And I started the May Gnome because when I started it, it was May. When I decided to do one of these gnomes, it was May. So this is what it's gonna look like when it's done. No cross stitching, no back stitching. I'm doing this 1/1 on a 28 count white Monaco. My goal is to get this to 75%. I'm currently at 48.64%. So it's a little under 2,000 stitches I need to do to get it to 75%. That's my starting point. So we will see how far I can get on this one. So yeah, I'm going to be doing all of the gnomes, and so since I'm going to finish them separate, in any Facebook group that does stuff like this, that like where it's like, you know, counting starts and finishes and stuff, if they're going to be separate finishes, then you can count them as separate starts. And so that's going to get me 11 starts, starting all 11 of those gnomes. Yeah. Okay. Oops. All right. Aurora Cabin. This is a kit from Dimensions. And this is what it's going to look like when it's done. It's a Dimensions Gold Collection. A lot of people have been working on this either through Dimensions or I believe some other, I feel like another company has this as well, but that's what it's going to look like when it's done. My goal for this is to do 1,000 stitches on the left side. And this is my starting point. That's my starting point. So my goal is to do 1,000 stitches over here. Working my way up. Yeah. So there's that one. what I was doing. Okay. Next is house. Oh. House. All right, hang on. I'm saying oh because let me see. Give me just a second. I'm gonna see if I can figure out how to pull up. Hang on. Here we go. Yes, okay. So this piece is from Stitch. This was the 2020 Stitch Along from Stitch. And I had never finished it because I forgot to print the rest of the pattern and then they took the pattern down. But every year they will have an amnesty thing where you can go buy previously taken down patterns. So as soon as I found that out, I bought this. That's what it's going to look like. And I can change the phrase, like I can chart out another phrase if I'd like. That's what it's going to look like. Now, where is it? What I'm doing that's a little crazy to me, which I thought was nuts to begin with, but I did it anyway, is I am doing this, and it looks weird because of the way that the pattern was released. I'm doing this in 4 different color schemes, just like that. So, orange, pink, green, and purple. I picked out like 4 different color palettes at the time because you could choose like your own colors, and it was a total of, you had to figure out 6 different colors. And I figured out 6 different colors that I wanted to do in 4 different palettes, and I couldn't decide which one. And then I had the crazy idea of doing all 4. So, doing all 4. And my goal for this is to finish, not finish it, but finish part 2 on all 4 sections. So basically pattern, the second part of the pattern that was released, finish that on all 4 sections. I gotta look and see if this one's done or not. That one might be done already, but yeah. So, there's that. All right, I'm gonna use this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Well, really 8 because I'm gonna UFO that one project. All right, so we'll pull out 7 more and then we'll be done. Hour and 28 minutes. Yay, yes. Jukebox. This is from Heaven and Earth Designs. And what am I doing? What did I do? No, I don't want mail. Oh no. My tablet went on the fritz. Hang on. All right, well, while this is figuring out its life, let me find it here. Oh, here it is. Okay. Jukebox. Where are you at? Here it is. This is from Heaven and Earth Designs, and artworks by Ciro Marchetti. This is 500 by 666, and it's max color, so it's 238 colors. That's what it's going to look like when it's done. I love it. Absolutely love it. And I started in the upper left-hand corner. I'm doing this on a 30, maybe 28, might be 32, 28 count, easy count Lugano, 1/1 full cross. This is my start, piddly little start. And my goal for this is to get it to 0.5%, and I am currently at 0.09. So I want to get it to 0.5%. I don't know what I'm going to do with myself. I'm actually pulling out projects I really want to work on. I want to work on all of them. All right, next. Is, oh, Winter in the Village. Winter in the Village. That's another Stony Creek piece. And should be right around here. Here it is. Yeah. Winter in the Village from Stony Creek. This is what it's going to look like when it's done. I think out of all 4 Stony Creek pieces, this was the one I was furthest along with because this was the first one I started. I'm doing this on a 28 count Summer Sky. And this is my starting point. And my goal for this is to do 1,000 stitches of back stitching. Oh, I've shown this to you already. I'm almost done with this. I was like, why is there back stitching on this already? I did start this goal, so I've done 800 of back stitching. I need to do 200 more. 200 more stitches of back stitching, and then this piece will be done. Okay. Next. Apple Pie Harvest. So I already showed it to you. It was that piece I got to finish page 1. So this we'll see if that one gets some work. Sometimes I need a break. This is why I have so many webs. Okay. Next is Fat Pants. This is from Dirty Annie's. My goal is to finish this one. I did a crap ton the last time you saw it because I was doing it for a road trip challenge on a closed group I'm in. This is what it's going to look like when it's done. It says, Happy Thanksgiving, get your fat pants ready. And this is my starting point. And nobody pointed this out, which I already knew. I'm missing the E in ready. But it's because it's a different color and I didn't pull that color out. Just if someone happens to notice that, don't freak out. I know that the E is missing out of ready, but it's a different color, so I haven't done it yet. But that's my starting point for that. My goal is to finish this one. I started this on Thanksgiving Day of last year. Okay, next is, it's a surprise to us all, I can't open the paper, Wanderlust Camping. This is from the Pain Free Crafts. I gotta find it first. Where is it? Oh, here it is. Yeah, it's from Pain Free Crafts. Artwork is by, I think this is from Lars Stewart. Yeah, there it is, right there. This is from Lars Stewart, so it is a retired pattern. It's no longer available. That's what it's going to look like when it's done. And I'm doing this 1/1 full cross on a, I think this is 28 count, easy count Lugana. That's my starting point, and my goal for this is to get it to 1%. I am currently at 0.31%. So I want to get this to 1%. Let me do one more and then I'm going to count and see how many I have, because I don't remember. Okay. Next is Morning Glory. And this is from Kitty and Me Designs. Here it is. And this is what it's going to look like when it's done. Isn't that pretty? I'm doing this on a, I think this is a 16 count Aida in the color Dirty. And, oh, son of a mother. The downside about it being like one of those mandala patterns is, well, I guess since it's a perfect square and everything is the same, I guess it doesn't matter. I don't know which way this goes. Oh boy. Again, I have the problem, but because it's like the same all around, I don't know. I feel like it goes this way. I feel like I would have done it this way. I don't know if this is like, you know, because it's going to be the same no matter what. But yeah, that's my starting point. And for this, my goal is Morning Glory. 500 stitches on the pink flowers. So basically kind of do the pink flowers all through here, and then if there's any leftover stitches from doing that, I will probably work on the white stitching that goes around. Probably. We'll see. I might change my mind. All right, let me count this real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Oh, that was 15. That's all of them. Okay. So real quick, what I'm going to show you is the year-long stitching goals, because I'm not sure which ones I'm going to work on, but I will work on a couple of them. This one, so I already showed you the two, California Dreaming and Friends, so I'm not going to show those again, but this is from Design Works. This is Coffee Time. And my year-long goal for this is to do 18,000 stitches, I believe. Copy break, I'm sorry, 18,000 stitches. And this is my starting point. And so if I work on this one, I will only be working on this block here, because for stuff like this, I'm going to completely do everything in one block before moving on to another one. So this one's done, so I moved over to the cappuccino block. I don't know what I did with my board. Oh, here it is. So I need a total of 14,900 stitches to complete my year-long goal for this. And the next one I'm going to show you, I'm not going to pull it out of the Q-Snap. But the next one I'm going to show you is from Cross Stitch Studio, artwork by Abraham Hunter, of course. This is Catching Rays. This is my million stitch project. This is 900 by 1200, so it is 1,080,000 stitches total. My biggest project ever so far, unless I find a bigger one. My year-long goal for this one is to do 30,000 pages. No! Wow, 30,000 stitches. Yeah, I'm gonna do 30, I feel like it's 30,000 pages. I am currently working on my 4th page. I'm doing the pages in a checkerboard and kind of color completing, if you will, within the page. And I need a total of 24,000 stitches to complete my goal. Did I just knock over? Oh. So I am, just a little like where I'm at with that. So it's 1,080,000 stitches, and I have done, since I started the piece, a total of 20,172, and I am at 1.87% done. And I can't get this back in the bag. Okay, we're just gonna do that, and we're gonna put that over there. Okay, the next one, is from, it's an old Dimensions kit, a whole lot of latte. And my goal for this is to get, I think, 18,000 stitches on this one for the year. Yeah. And this is my starting point with this one since the last time you saw it. Can't see through that. Or you can see through. I don't want you to see through it. There we go. That's my starting point for that one. So if I pull this one out, I'll probably try to work on finishing that cup so it gets done. This is one piece where it calls for back stitching, and I'm letting you know right now, I most likely will not do the black back stitching because it's black back stitching on black fabric. And I don't know if that's really going to make that much of a difference. So we'll see how I feel after all that. Anyway, another year-long goal piece I have is, which I'll talk about this if I work on it, is the Magic Potion Cross Stitch Temperature Salve from Teeny Weeny X Stitch. This is a mock-up of it. This is not what mine's going to look like because it is a temperature piece. And I am doing this on a 32 count linen, opalescent linen from Bestitch Me, and the color is called It's a Mystery. So that's the fabric. That's my starting point. So this is the January shelf, and this is February. And my goal for this is to have it done where on December the 31st, either like I will have like hardly, I'll obviously have to do December 31st that day, but there'll hardly be anything. And then this is from Pain Free Crafts, and this is Day to Night Iceland. Artwork by Lars Stewart. This is a retired pattern. This is what it's going to look like when it's done, and my goal is to get it to 12% by the end of the year. And this is my starting point since the last time you saw it. I am currently at 2.2. I got a ways to go. 2.21%. That's my starting point on that. And I'm doing that in block by block diagonals. I'm doing that on a 32 count 1/1 full cross. I think that's all of it. Yeah. So anyway, that's all I have to share with you. That was a very long video. And yeah, so we'll see what I can do. It's a long weekend for me, so hopefully I get a lot of stitching in. I'm excited. I'm very excited about this 2-week process. I like a lot of these projects. All right, that's all I gotta say. Thank you again to all my subscribers, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Take care, happy stitching, get lots of stitches in. Oh, and if you have any questions or comments, then go ahead and leave them down below. And I will see you in my next video. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.